Welcome back to What RT Nibs with General Disturbance. This is a 50TP Tyszkiewicza. It's a Tier 8 Polish heavy tank and it's located on the north spawn of Ruinberg and it's under the command of Captain Aslains. Right, battle is about to commence. Now the 50TP, which is a 50-ton tank, is actually armed with a 122mm gun. Oh, bit of a traffic jam at the start. People crashing into each other. And Captain Aslains moving off towards town. Well, quite a lot of you have probably been playing the 50TP, mainly because it was the second premium tank on the Polish line. And of course it's also rather notorious for having the ability to take a lot of damage without actually conceding any hit points in the process. Very robust tank indeed, and also capable of doing a lot of damage to the enemy. The alpha damage is 440, you've got penetration of 218 off standard ammo. Now this is a tank that's from a draft. Oh, now that T-57 didn't last very long, but I think that was because he was actually hit by multiple tanks all at once. Captain Aslains pulling back because he realises he's in danger. He doesn't want to commit to the corner because there's too many tanks around that corner for him to hit. Oh, puts a nice round into the 705, hugs the wall for comfort, and from that position, yep, he just took a round into the tracks. That's not going to worry him at all. He's reloaded. He's got a 12.93 second reload on this gun. I mean, you can see from that 554 that this was a high roll. But there again, he is using APCR on this particular round. I know that Captain Aslains does like to use premium ammo quite a bit. Although he has loaded HE and standard AP in his tank, he obviously realises the value of using APCR sometimes to actually get the initial damage in a battle, in a confrontation, and that can make the whole world of difference when it comes to the end of the game. Going up to 705, fires around him, but unfortunately doesn't penetrate right onto the corner, but he's taking a position now much closer to the edge. You see he's using those gaps in the wall to only present his side to the enemy, not to present his front, so he can't be hitting the lower plate. It's a really good position here. He can't be attacked. If somebody does come around the corner, he'll be able to fend them off. Just trying to sum up the situation because there's a lot of heavy tanks around that corner, and one of them, the T-57 Heavy, has got an autoloader with 5 shots available to him. At least I think it's 5, and he doesn't really want to give that guy a chance or an opportunity to fire those shells into him. Okay, there's the 50TP on the enemy team, and that's a huge round, 597, a very high roll, very high roll. Remember, 440 alpha, even with the APCR, so to get that sort of level of damage, he really did hit him hard. And we're going to fire on one of the enemy tanks, and the 705's gone down. We can't get a shot at that T-50 Object 257 behind the wall, but here's somebody he can hit, and he's taken that 50TP out the game. That was the previous one that he hit. Now, there's only 2 tanks now that he's up against. If he comes around the corner, the 257 will probably try to shoot him in the side. If he faces the 257, the T-57 will fight him shoot him in the side. So the ideal position for him at the moment is just to use the cover he's got here to force the enemy out into the open. Yeah, it can probably just get a shot through. No, couldn't get it. Just too narrow a gap. You might see some super Unicum do that, fire a shot at a pixel and get the shot in. But I think it looks like he's going to take the risk and try and side scrape off this wreck. And then, oh, now this is one that we didn't see before. Yep, the T-57 is fired 1 round in. There's 2. Trying to get the second one in. There's 3. Unfortunately, that did do damage. He's almost loaded, and yeah, he gets one into the rear of the T-57. And now he's isolated. He's being attacked from multiple tanks, so he's not going to last very long now. He made a huge error. The 257 couldn't support him while he was here, and now he's out of the game. He's gone. So that's the second kill for Captain Ashton. And it was a perfect move because the 257 could not support the T-57 once he committed around the corner. And that's one of the things you should learn, is that if you can get the enemy to commit to something which they don't really want to do and they have no support, the T-257 couldn't support him from over there unless Captain Ashton came around the corner, and then he could help. But Captain Ashton didn't. He stayed in cover and allowed the T-57 to commit suicide by doing what he did. Now, Captain Ashton did lose quite a lot of damage, quite a lot of hit points in that process, but he did get the T-57, and that is an important kill. The enemy's only got 2 heavies left now. We've still got 4. Captain Ashton's backing up. Now, he's in an anti-safe position while he was actually alongside that wall, because you can't get shells over those wrecks, those ruins. But now he's in an open position, so he might get hit by RC. I think you can see there's Carnarvon AX, an Action 10 up ahead. The reward tank for that long series of grinds. And yep, lovely one into the rear. 506, high roll. Okay, and if the Carnarvon stays there, he's going to get another hold. Yes, that ends his game. 146. So that's 3 kills to Captain Ashton now. He is the high scorer on his team. And we've still got that 257 to deal with. It's around the corner. But he is in a bit of an isolated position now. But there is an FV4005, the ship bomb, as people like to call it. And unfortunately, he's still behind the church. And he's got one hell of a gun, the 183mm. Can do a huge amount of damage with that gun. Right, we've got a target up near the centre line, T28 prototype, and yep, you're out the game. And that's his 4th kill. He did take a round in the tracks from the T54 prototype, but no damage other than the damage to the tracks. Okay, now there are 2 tanks up. And they're starting to deal with the FV4005 and the 257. So he could probably push around the corner. And there's the T54 up there, and he's been tracked. Oh, and he's out the game. And the T44 takes a round, and that's a high roll as well. 454. Okay, we've got the enemy RT over in the corner. GWE 100. There is only one. There's only 3 enemy tanks left. One of them's the 257. One's the ship bomb. The other's the GWE. There's the GWEs. Oh, he's in the open. That was a silly thing to do. He just almost walked through the field of fire, and he would have received a 122mm round straight through his side. He pulled back at the last moment, but I think the GWE realises the danger he's in. If he stayed in his current position, he was going to get shot from the behind. A Leopard prototype and a Strib 103 are moving down to the enemy cap area. Captain Ashton's holding back because he doesn't know where the FV4005 is. There he is. Oh, he's fired. Okay, so he's in reload. And unfortunately pulls behind the church before he can get a shot. Can he get around in? Yes, he does. 184, which is a low roll on the GWE 100. And he's reloading HE. Okay, he's got an HE round. That should take out... Oh, my gun! The GWE managed to fire a round in, which stunned him and damaged his tracks and tracked him. Just repairing his tracks, and the GWE is out the game. The 257's moved out of his position now, and he's just around the corner. And I think we've got 2 wrecks to act as cover. But Captain Ashton is reloading APCR, getting ready for that 257. Oh, the FV4005's been killed. He was taken out by the M53, M55. Here's the 257. one round into him. 555. He turns to face us. Now he's going to go to face hug. Oh, what an ammo rack. Blew the turret off completely. Turret's on the ground behind that tank. At least I think it is. No, it's behind the tank pointing upwards. And he was killed by the Leopard prototype. What a game. Okay, so let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's a second class tanker for Captain Ashtorm in the 50TP. He also managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He managed to get 4 exactly. A fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 6. And he got a Brothers in Arms. He platooned with somebody else who also had 3 kills, and so he picks up a Brothers in Arms and a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the battle overall, and a win 8 for the game of 5173 Super Unicum standard. So let's have a look at the team score. And we can see Captain Ashtorm right at the top on damage, 4,484 hit points of damage. The platoon mate, which was Yo Mamas, who's also a member of What Arty Noobs, and he was in the M53, M55, and they went into the battle platoon together, and Yo Mamas managed to get 3 kills during that battle. He managed to get 909 hit points of damage, but 3 kills, including that one on the FV4005, which is very welcome as well, because that 183mm gun is very dangerous, and so he needed to take him out of the game as quickly as he could, but it took some time before he can get the right angle to put a shot into him, take him out. But when it came to kills, you can see there Captain Ashtorm with 4 kills, Yo Mama's got 3, and when it came to base XP, it was Captain Ashtorm right at the very top with 1,222, and we can see Yo Mamas is a bit further down the table with 635, but what he was doing, he was cleaning up some of the tanks who had actually previously been hit by removing them from the game, and although he wasn't picking up a lot in hit points for doing that, he was taking guns out the game, and that's what really counted in the end. So let's have a look at the detailed report. Well, he fired 14 shots during that battle. He got 13 direct hits, 12 penetrations, and damage of 4,484 hit points, of which 454 were at more than 300 meters. That was the shot on the T-44 at the other end of in the village. He received 7 hits during that battle, 3 of which were penetrations. I think 2 of those at least came from the T-57 as he came around the corner and committed himself to engaging Captain Ashtorm. Big mistake by him for doing that. And he also received 4 shots that were non-penetrations, and most of those went straight into the tracks and didn't really do much damage to him. He got 1 hit as a result of splash damage. That was from the GWE 100, who managed to fire a round off and stunned Captain Ashtorm and tracked him, but didn't really do much in the way of damage overall. He blocked damage of 840 hit points during that game. Not enough to get the a steel wall. Not quite there. You need 1,000 and you need at least 11 hits. He only received 7. When it came to enemy vehicles damaged, he damaged 8 of the enemy. It's more than half the enemy team, and he killed 4 of them. Then he also did damage assistance of 1,097 hit points by tracking vehicles which were then subsequently taken out by others. And if we look at the credits, we can see that he earned 66,020 credits, and after repair, ammunition resupply and consumables, and yes, he did use a lot of premium ammo, but you can see the results it does have in this battle. He did actually get the win, although he suffered a loss for the battle of 45,836 credits. I think it's important to note that Captain Ashtorm does tend to get more wins in his heavies than not, and he does it using the gold, or the premium ammo I should say, but he does use it effectively to get a win. It's not spamming gold at the enemy, he's actually using it with the right reason, with the right purpose. He received 1 bond for the high caliber, he earned 1,833 XP, times 2 for the first victory of the day, so he took away 3,666 experience points altogether. And he says, titles it Awesome Teamwork with Thomas. Well, Thomas is Yo Mamas, and I know him, he's a regular from What Arty Noobs, who've supplied us with replays before in the past, and I'm sure they enjoyed that. You know, a heavy tank working together with an arty can be very, very effective. I know, I've done it in platoon many times with Nikki of Philo, and you wouldn't believe the effect it can have if you've got an RT to fire a few rounds in, soften the enemy up so you can then plow straight through them. But Captain Aslain played that very smart on that corner. He enabled that enemy, he let the enemy, in fact he lured the enemy round the corner to come after him so he couldn't get support from that 257, and once he was isolated from the 257, everybody hit the Type 57 Heavy or T57 Heavy and took him out of the game. So great game there, Captain Aslain. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.